This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSP TV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, a member of the Capitol Police Force dishes out important advice if you're ever in a situation with an active shooter. Welcome everyone to FYI for Wednesday. I'm Ken Kara. Thanks for watching. Congressman Lou Barletta held a news conference on Monday to voice his concerns about the possibility of child refugees who have crossed the U.S. border in Texas being housed in downtown Hazleton. Barletta says that some people have misunderstood his stand.
I am doing everything that is humanly possible to stop this from coming. That's why I called the press conference. That's why I blew the lid off of the information that was given to me, so that all of these problems that are now at the border don't come here in Hazleton. I've had a career of standing up and fighting this issue through my experience here as a mayor for 11 years, and I've taken that fight to Washington, and I am not going to sit back idly while the federal government again creates their problem and then pushes it off on communities such as Hazleton, who is not equipped to handle this situation.
Meanwhile, this afternoon, the congressman announced that Hazleton has been removed from consideration for unaccompanied minors. Barletta posted on his Facebook page, quote, "I can confirm that the U.S. Committee on Refugees and Immigrants is no longer considering Hazleton as a possible site to house unaccompanied minors who have illegally crossed the U.S. border with Mexico. There were too many questions. There were too many questions and concerns about the plan, which I opposed, and the voices of our community have been heard," unquote. For complete details, you can read all about this latest development in tomorrow's edition of the Standard Speaker, or log on now to standardspeaker.com. Meanwhile, the congressman will take part in a field hearing of the Homeland Security Committee tomorrow in McAllen, Texas. Congressman Barletta will also be a guest on tonight's Sam Lassant Show, where he will discuss the crisis on the border. That show airs tonight at 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. on SSP TV. Congressman Lou Barletta has received the Legislator of the Year award from the National Volunteer Fire Council. The recognition came in response to Barletta's work in protecting volunteer fire companies from incurring costs and fines under the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. Barletta was presented with the award at the Washington Fire Company in Mechanicsburg by Fairview Township firefighter Bob Timko. It was Timko who first alerted the congressman to the problem during a parade back in 2013. District 2 of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association has suspended Hazleton area softball coach from coaching anywhere in District 2 for the 2014 season. The Lady Cougar softball team was also placed on probation for next year, meaning that any violation of PIAA rules could cost them a postseason berth, and this all comes from using an ineligible player last season. Hazleton Area School District Superintendent Francis X. Antonelli told the Hazleton Standard Speaker he's recommending to the school board to open up the head softball coach position. District 2 did commend the Hazleton Area School District for how they handled the situation. The Hazleton Area School Board will have a special meeting on July 15th at 5:30 p.m. The Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress wants to hear from you. The organization is looking to the public for ideas on Hazleton's downtown revitalization. As a result, the Alliance and its planning consultants will host a workshop to solicit input on topics that include economic development, public safety, physical improvements, and marketing and promotions. The workshop will be held Tuesday, July 8th from 5 until 7 p.m. in the ballroom of the former Altamont Hotel at 141 West Broad Street in downtown Hazleton. The building is still being used for public events, even though it is vacant. Now, to RSVP, you can contact the Alliance's Executive Director, Krista Snyder, at 570-455-1509, or you can email her at the email on your screen. It is a scenario that has happened on college campuses, malls, workplaces, and schools across America. Tonight, we bring you the first of two segments with a man who conducts seminars on how to survive an active shooter situation. Here's Lisa Sugart with part one.
Would you know what to do if you were involved in an active shooter situation? Unfortunately, it's becoming all too common in the United States of America. Here to tell us more about it is a man who is a very familiar face to our area, the former police chief of the borough of Freeland, a member of the Capitol Police Force in Harrisburg, and now he is doing seminars on active shooters and crime prevention. Welcome, Danny Miner. Danny, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Lisa. I was glad you contacted me. Great to be back home.
And you have a long list of experience in dealing with stuff like this, so it kind of fit perfectly for you to take on these seminars.
Yeah, I've been in law enforcement for 26 years, and unfortunately, these incidents are happening constantly. We've had, and a lot of people don't realize this, we had 74 active shooter incidents since Sandy Hook. 74, and that wasn't too long ago. And if you think about the last 3 weeks, how many we had, the Santa Barbara incident, the Vegas incident, okay? There was a school shooting that was going to happen in Oregon where 2 people trusted their instincts and actually stopped the shooting.
So it's gotten so out of control that now people want to be protected. So you started doing this, and this has taken off because there's a definite need for people to learn how to protect themselves.
There's a definite need. And the one thing is, we don't practice things. We don't practice our crime prevention. And what we need to do is we need to practice in case of an active shooter incident, in case you will be involved, that you're not a victim. And Lisa, in my seminars, I tell the truth. If somebody comes in with a gun someplace and you don't know they're coming, there's going to be victims. There's going to be victims. This is what I teach is after them first shots are fired, what do you do? How do you get out of trouble? That's what I teach in my seminars.
And what have the police learned that you're now trying to pass along to people after analyzing all these situations over the years?
Well, in my seminars, the first thing I talk about is the mind of an active shooter and why he does these things. And you have to understand him to be able to survive one of these incidents. The second thing is I talk about the police. And Columbine changed police work forever. Because in the Columbine incident, they did not go into the school. They waited 3 hours before they went into that school. And honestly, people were being murdered while the cops were outside. The cops didn't know any better in Columbine because we weren't trained for active shooter. We were trained for hostage negotiation. So did you ever see on TV, come out with your hands up? That's what the cops did because they were trained to do it. Now every cop in the United States is trained on active shooter, and we immediately go in. The first couple cops on that scene, their only job is to get that active shooter. And that's important to somebody in an active shooter incident that they know the cops are coming. 100% the cops are coming. They're not stopping at the door. Their only job is to get that shooter, and they're going to get him. That's their only job.
And you said him. You're referring to a male, and you said most of the time that's who it is, a male that is doing this.
Yes, and if you look at statistics, 95% of the time an active shooter is going to be a male. You've had some female active shooters. If you just think about the Vegas incident where the 2 cops were shot, you had a female there, but 95% of the time it's going to be a male.
And a lot of planning, you said, goes into something like this. So that's something for people to be on the alert of, that all these shooters took the time to do this.
Yes. The Columbine incident, a lot of people don't know this. The Columbine incident, they planned to do the shooting for 1.5 years, and they actually planned it to be a bombing at first, but their bombs didn't work. They set up bombs in the cafeteria. It was going to be a bombing. They usually idolize people that did these incidents before. The Columbine kids, they idolized Timmy McVeigh, who did the Oklahoma bombing, federal building bombing. The Virginia Tech kid, he has the death record in the United States. He killed 32 people. And believe it or not, these active shooters plan to beat his score. It's like a high score where you're getting the initials in a video game. That's how they look at this. The Virginia Tech kid got 32. If they can get more than 32, they believe this is going to make them famous for the rest of their lives. They believe they will be famous for the rest of their lives for doing one of these active shooter incidents.
Well, I know we could talk about this for much more than the time we have allocated, but we do want you to come back tomorrow to tell our viewers that if they are ever, we hope that they are never in that situation, but if they ever find themselves in such a situation, what they can do. Danny has life-saving advice, and he'll also tell you about where he's going to be holding one of these seminars right here in our viewing area.
Remember to tune in tomorrow for part 2 of that story with Lisa Sugard and Danny Miner. Tonight we have news from the desk of the Klein Township Police Department. Township Police will be actively patrolling the community over the July 4th holiday weekend. Police will be on the lookout for illegal use of fireworks being used after 11 p.m., used fireworks left on area streets, and fireworks shot onto neighboring homes, posing a risk of fire. Police also remind residents that ATVs are prohibited on township streets. Still ahead on FYI, Janine and Tamara are back, and they have more decorating ideas that won't drain your wallet. And it was an exciting game, but the U.S. came up just short. Our World Cup correspondent reacts to the outcome of USA-Belgium.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSP TV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
We are back here on FYI for What's the Sense every Wednesday. And what about those glass bottles? You know, I like to throw everything away when I'm not using it, but tomorrow she saves everything, and you might be at home and save everything as well. You could do some neat projects that are very inexpensive, right?
This is cool. I saw this and I just thought it was so cool. You take food coloring and Elmer's glue.
Okay.
And you mix it together and you paint your glass.
Oh, neat.
And it gives it a sea glass look.
That is super cool. So you start off with a regular glass, you just paint the outside, obviously.
Right.
Right, with the mixture. And then do you have to let that obviously
It
dry?
dries very, very, very fast.
Okay.
These were just lamps that somebody gave me, and I just sea glassed it.
Oh, that's so neat.
And you just mix your color. The color will look darker, but as you are painting it on, it'll lighten. And if it's too dark, just wet your brush a little bit and water it down.
Go over it.
But I think it's cool, and there's a lot of old glass. I know you get those vases and all kinds of stuff laying around, but it's so pretty, and it's just summer, and it's time for the sea.
Now, if you want to ask Tamara a question, or you have a piece of furniture or some junk laying around that you want to redo, how do they get a hold of you?
You can either mail me at 11 East Broad, Hazleton, Pennsylvania, 18202, or you can find me on Facebook under What's the Sense, or my website, sagetheexchange.com.
We'll see you next week with more awesome ideas here with Tamara in downtown Hazleton.
Thank you.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
It was a warm day out there today, and then the rains came, so expect some rainy weather tonight as well as we take a look at this lovely weather shot. Beautiful tree there, and look at the contrast, the light background there. Beautiful shot. Good job, Mike Terleski. All right, let's take a look at our forecast from the National Weather Service tonight. Expect some showers and thunderstorms, 60% chance, and the low will go down to 70 degrees, so it's a very warm night. Thursday, as we look at the extended forecast, it will be 80 degrees and another chance of showers and thunderstorms. The chance is 80%. The high will be 80 degrees and 61 at night, and again, showers are likely, and there's also a possibility of a thunderstorm. For Friday, Independence Day, a slight chance of showers, but expect a partly sunny day. The high will be 74, a little bit more comfortable there. And then on Friday night, partly cloudy with a low around 52. Also be kind of a windy day on Independence Day, so get ready for that. 9 to 13 mile per hour winds expected. Saturday will be sunny with a high at 75. Saturday night, clear, low is at 54. Sunday, a sunny day, the high is 79, and on Sunday night, we'll get down to 59 degrees.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Valley High, the area's oldest ice cream and fast food restaurant. Stop on in for a cold treat including our ice cream and yogurt, or some hot food including our burgers, hot dogs, fries, and much more. That's Valley High, Route 93 in West Hazleton. Treat yourself today.
The 4th of July holiday is just 2 days away, so as we have done in the past, here's a list of area firework displays for you to enjoy. Music and everything. I'm really hungry for pasta salad right now. Here's the midday winning daily lottery numbers from the Pennsylvania Lottery. The daily numbers 681, Big 4 4634, Quinto numbers 06840, Treasure Hunt 6, 9, 11, 15, and 24. We're talking World Cup soccer next on FYI.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
It's Dave Day on the Sportscast. Welcoming back Dave Seaman, the sports editor from the Standard Speaker. And the game, when I'm not watching the World Cup, I've been reading about it in the Standard Speaker. Dave, you guys have done a great job with the game. Now, this is from Tuesday, the sports page. Just a ton of information as the U.S. was getting ready to play Belgium on that day. Let's talk about how popular it was this year. Now, you've covered a few in the newspaper, you've been through a few World Cup cycles. Has it been different? Has there been more of a demand, you think, from maybe your readers for coverage this time around, or kind of the same?
I think it's a lot better for the American viewer and American soccer fans because it's on this side of the world, so the times are a lot more conducive to Americans watching the games. And whether they're at work, whether they're on their way home from work, people are finding a way to watch the game, and it's been even beyond my wildest imagination how popular it's become.
How much do you think ESPN has to do with this? They have the games on ESPN and ABC. They've been promoting it for a long, long time. How much do you think that affects the average sports fan who might be watching the NBA on there and they say, hey, maybe I'll watch the World Cup?
I think so. ESPN, if anybody who's watched ESPN has seen how much they've popularized the sport. They've covered all the qualifiers. They cover the select leagues from around the world, the European championships, the South American championships, the different tournaments when the World Cup isn't being played. And so it gives them a little bit of a flavor of what the World Cup is all about, and it gives them some recognition of the players, and people know who some of the players are. And they know who Clint Dempsey is, they know who Josie Altidore is. So it's a win-win for everyone.
One thought I had, Dave, was I grew up in the mid-'90s. I was all ready for that 1994 World Cup, grew up playing soccer. My generation now is going to their 30s. We've grown up with soccer almost in the country. You think that's a factor, too? Have you seen it grow in that way?
I think so, too. And I think don't discount what the women did, too, in 1999. That was in the U.S., too. The U.S. women won that. Everybody knows the Mia Hamm and the Brandy Chastain with taking the top off, and everybody was all excited about that. But it brought in another awareness and how competitive those women were, and that led to some more recognition for their sport and for the men as well. And soccer, it's always been a ticking time bomb. I've always waited for it to explode. I don't know on like the whole national media scene as it has this year as it exploded, but now it's really taken off.
All right, and let's check in with our World Cup correspondent at FYI, Sammy Atea, at his bar after the game, USA versus Belgium.
Or the way they played the first half, they were like kind of like they come like practice. They weren't coming like to win. Belgium was all over the place. Till second overtime, then they start playing hard, and that's what it should start. I don't know what the coach was thinking, and I am disappointed because I thought U.S. gonna go to the second round. A lot of people, my friend came in today, it was a lot of beautiful crowd, and most of them didn't know the game, and I believe it's gonna pick up a lot for the youth, and high school and so on, and hopefully we'll get bigger and bigger.
What does the U.S. have to work on to succeed in the World Cup? What does this team have to work on to get to the next round, to be one of the best teams in the world?
Well, it's going to be tough because the U.S. considered the newest team in the world because all the other countries, they grew up playing soccer, which means football actually. So for them to come all the way around like the way we are now, it's coming along and need the experience and need some superstars. They don't have the finisher. They have the group, they have the youth in them, but not the experience.
Now, usually we don't come back to the desk on Dave Day, but I felt that it was important for all of us to be together today after a tough U.S. loss. But what an effort, my friends. And here's some tweets I found to cheer us all up. Here's one from Ian Dark, commentator for ESPN. He says, great line in the UK Daily Telegraph. The U.S. may be leaving, but they have truly arrived. And then there's this gem from Brandon Hirschberger, who points out that the United States has won more Super Bowls than any other country in the world. So you have that. FYI, we'll be back. You stay classy, planet Earth. It's Wednesday, and here's some delicious alliteration. It's signature steak night at Bottlenecks. All of their signature steaks are only $9.95 plus bottomless soup and salad for only $2.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, happy 95th birthday to Mary Snap. She celebrated her birthday yesterday. Love from your family and friends. First announcement for this evening, the Holy Name of Jesus Parish Picnic at the former Transfiguration Church site will be held July 18th, 19th, and 20th. Each night will feature great live entertainment. They will be serving delicious homemade food, including potato cakes, halushki, fried dough, and much, much more, plus games. The event will be held, rain or shine, under the tents. And our last announcement, the Sanctuary, 172 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, will be presenting its first independent professional wrestling show July 13th from 3 to 5 p.m. Tickets are available at the door with half-price coupons available throughout the area. For information about the first wrestling event at the Sanctuary, call 570-262-2030. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Ruth L. Berger of Whitehaven. Funeral is Thursday at 10 a.m. from the Lehman Family Funeral Service. Friends may call Wednesday from 4 to 7 p.m. and Thursday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Elaine S. Giller of Lantana, Florida. Memorial service is planned in Albany, New York for September. And Jane H. Shelley of Freeland. Funeral is Thursday at 4 p.m. from the Butler Chapel of the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home. Friends may call Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111.
My name is Leanne Falabelle, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing at the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, and today I'm going to talk about our 8th Annual Women's Empowerment Grant. We give this grant away every year through our Women's Networking Committee here at the Chamber, and right now we're currently looking for women to apply for this grant. So this grant is intended for any woman that is going back to school to advance their degree, any woman who is returning to the workforce, or any woman who's looking to just change their career path and start off fresh. So like I said, we do this every year, and applications are due the end of July 30th, and then we notify our recipients of the grants by the end of August. And we are just, if anybody's interested in applying for the grant, they can go to our website, hazletonchamber.org, and go to our homepage. It's on the left-hand side under important links. There's an application there, or they can simply call our office and we can mail them an application.
Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Danette Cusack of Beaver Meadows. Danette, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-459-9813 to win your free movie.
For breaking news, go to facebook.com/FYI News 13 and standardspeaker.com. And when you're done there, go to Twitter and search #ThingsTimHowardCanSave. It'll be a good time. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, take it easy, everyone.